Taranto. Still delighted with her new purchase, Rieke and Linnea continued strolling down the street. "What a lucky day," Linnea sighed happily. "Looks like visualization really does work. Now that's all missing is your dress." "I'd be surprised if we didn't find one too," Rieke replied, linking arms with her. Music poured from the shops lining both sides of the street, every doorway spilling a different tune into the air. "Hey, wait a second," Rieke exclaimed, stopping in her tracks. She recognized the song playing through one of the speakers immediately. It was China Girl, one of her all-time favorites. "Come on, let's go inside," she said to Linnea. Neither of them believed in passing up the chance to hear one of their favorite songs. The music led them into a small shoe store. Customers stood between stacks of shoe boxes, trying on new shoes or walking back and forth to test them out. Rieke and her mother began browsing as well. "Maybe I find a pair of ballet flats like Löwen's," Rieke joked, making Linnea laugh. Curiously, they wandered between the displays. Both of them had the strange feeling they were about to discover something important. Out of the corner of her eye, Rieke suddenly caught a sparkle. Puzzled, she looked up, and there they were. Several shimmering dresses hung on a clothing rack. "Look," she whispered. "Yes, there," Linnea began, but words failed her. They stepped closer, staring in amazement. Every dress reached the floor and featured a timeless A-line silhouette. The fitted bodice flowed into a full skirt that draped gracefully without appearing bulky. Fine pleats ran through the fabric, creating soft, even folds all the way down. "They must sway beautifully when you walk," Rieke thought excitedly. The bodices had elegant high necklines that hugged the collarbone. Rieke had always loved that style. It looked so refined. But what made the dresses truly extraordinary was the fabric itself. It shimmered all on its own. The sparkle wasn't soon on afterward. It seemed to be woven directly into the material. Each dress had its own unique pattern. One featured tiny elephant silhouettes against a white background and looked almost like a wedding gown. Another burst with bold neon colors that made it impossible to ignore. Two elegant black dresses were decorated with red roses, and there were many more besides, each one more beautiful than the last. One dress, however, captured Rieke's heart instantly. It was sky blue, sprinkled with tiny flowers. She fell in love with it the moment she saw it. "This is the one," she said softly, running her hand over the shimmering pale blue fabric. It certainly wasn't something everyone would wear. Although it wasn't a ball gown, it reminded her very much of Löwen's style. More than that, she had the unmistakable feeling it had been made just for her. "We absolutely can't leave this behind," Linnea declared. "First it has to fit," Rieke replied, lifting the sparkling dress from its hanger. "Would you like to use the fitting room?" asked a sales assistant who had noticed their excitement. "Oh, yes, please," Rieke answered eagerly, following her to a small changing room. It had been a long time since she tried on a dress. Most days she wore jeans or occasionally a skirt during the hottest weeks of summer. Reading the chapter from the Nivaleth book had inspired her to try something different. And why shouldn't she wear a beautiful dress in her own world too? Carefully, she slipped into it. It fit as though it had been tailored just for her. Beaming, she pulled back the fitting room curtain. Linnea's jaw dropped. "You look absolutely stunning." Rieke could hardly believe her eyes. She turned toward the mirror and stood there in silent amazement. The dress looked incredible on her. It made her blue eyes shine even brighter, while the tiny flowers gave it a look that was both sweet and wonderfully elegant. She slowly spun a circle, just as she'd imagined. The pleated skirt swayed gracefully with every movement. "It's perfect," she exclaimed. Several people stood in the shop, glanced over admiringly. Linnea clapped her hands with delight, and on top of it all, the price fit perfectly within their budget. Could this day possibly get any better? After changing back into her clothes, they went straight to the register to buy the dress. While they were paying, they struck up a conversation with an elderly woman who told them she had once owned a similar dress herself. She added that she wished more people had the confidence to wear something that beautiful. Rieke and Linnea couldn't have agreed more. The sales assistant carefully packed the dress into an extra-large shopping bag. By the time they left the store, both of their cheeks were glowing with happiness. "This is the best vacation I've ever had," Linnea said, beaming. "I couldn't agree more," Rieke replied. "By the way, are you suddenly starving too?" "Oh, absolutely," Linnea laughed. All that shopping had given them enormous appetites. They both laughed and headed back toward the waterfront in search of one of the wonderful restaurants. They found the perfect place right by the sea. It was more of a casual fast food spot than a fancy restaurant, yet it was just as beautiful decorated. They even managed to get a small table overlooking the water. "I think I'll have a nice plate of spaghetti with tomato sauce," Rieke said after looking over the menu. "That sounds amazing. I'll have the same," Linnea replied. Only a few minutes later, 2 steaming plates of spaghetti and a large bottle of water were placed in front of them. Hungrily, they dug in. It tasted wonderful. "This is exactly what I needed," Linnea said contentedly, twirling spaghetti around her fork. Outside, they could hear seagulls calling and gentle waves lapping against the shore. Once they had finished every last bite, they made their way back to their vacation house. "Oh, that was such a wonderful day," Rieke sighed happily as they settled onto their sofa. Linnea couldn't have agreed more.